Hello and welcome to Miller's Musings, a weekly vlog by me, Si Miller, where I talk about everything to do with life, anxiety, mental health, all those kind of things. There's a playlist, which I'll make sure I put a link in the description below that you can go and watch, should you want to go and watch all of these things. Now, the first thing I've got to say, and it ties into the whole video as well, is that this arm will not move at any point during this video, and really it's meant to be in a sling. However, as I found out when I'm recording stuff and I turn on the hot light, as this is doing now, the hot studio light, the sling is not like an old school sling, which I had at first. It is like some kind of new foam sling. It's the hottest thing in the world. So I just take it off when I record videos and let it hang, which you're not meant to do, but I'm a lot of pain with medication, so I can't feel it. So anyway, excuse me, it does tie into this video because today's video, as you've seen from the title, is about overcoming adversity. And this is the most personal one I'll do so far to a certain extent, in the sense that, yes, a week ago, as I am recording this, I was in Newcastle. I was wrestling for Defiant Wrestling. As a quick side note, tangent, if you don't know, I am a professional wrestler. And I broke my collarbone. I got hit with something known as a lariat, and it was so hard that, yeah, it broke my collarbone in two. Now, that sucks anyway, right? Because nobody wants to be in pain, nobody wants to be injured, nobody wants to break a bone. I've never broken a bone in my life either, so I was very proud of. I made it all this way into my 30s, never breaking a bone. That record is now dead. The thing that really gets you, though, as you soon realize, is the mental side of things. Because I'm not saying I'm a big tough guy, but I can handle the physical pain. Because, A, we have modern drugs to do that, you know, such as codeine and paracetamol and ibuprofen. But also, it is, I'm not saying it's just pain. Pain sucks. Pain can lead to terrible things. But it is just, I don't know, it's just easier to deal with in my experience, or at least in my world. But it's the mental side of things, I guess, because the pain is easy to deal with mentally. It's like, this hurts, I'm going to move myself or take something to get rid of the pain. When it comes to the emotional side of things, it's completely different because, A, there's a physical pain. That's going to mess with your mental side of thing. Then there's what it means. Now, as I make this video, I have to go to see a shoulder specialist on Friday, a surgeon, to potentially, get booked in to have surgery. Now, between you and I, as we're having a chat, I would like that because I'd rather they pinned it together and put a plate in there because it's going to help me get back to physical activity down the line, which is what I want. Go to the gym, being a wrestler, all of that kind of stuff. But then you have to realize that, I mean, going through surgery is tough anyway. I'm very intimidated by things like that. But it also stops you doing the stuff you like, right? The wrestling, definitely, but also the gym, which is something I've been doing for 15, 16, almost 18 years of my life. That is, I won't be able to do that. And I probably won't be able to do that if it goes well, for about 3 months. And that's when the mental side comes into it. And that's the hardest thing, because I'm a guy that likes to be active. I like to do stuff. And now, because of something that's happened to me in life, I can't do that. I have to reassess any plans I had, maybe throughout most of the rest of the year, potentially. It's a bit extreme, but you take my point. And something that, provided me comfort and calmed me down and, got me away from problems and stress, that's been taken away now. And I have to try and find something else to deal with, or at least to fill that void. And that is something that is really, really hard. Especially when we tie into the wrestling thing. If you don't know, I've been training to be a wrestler for 2 years. Started in late April in terms of doing it in front of a crowd and, performances and whatnot, whatever you want to call it. And that's gone already as well. And I felt like, especially during these, I did back-to-back wrestling shows on Defiant Wrestling. And I felt during those shows, hopefully I have to move that mouse. During those shows, I felt like, again, I'm certainly not where, I'm not saying I made a huge jump or anything, but I got experience and I felt like I developed and I evolved as a pro wrestler. That's really important, especially when you first started out. So it's almost like this back and forth where on one end, I felt really good about everything that was going on. I felt like I'd learned. I watched stuff back and I saw things I could have done better, but still I thought, okay, well, at least I'm getting to where I want to be. And then all of a sudden it's taken away like that. And not only is it taken away, like I say, anything I wanted to do this week sort of outside is going to be a struggle because, it's a crutch. Don't be the irony. It's a crutch having an injury like this. And that is when the brain, you start to struggle more. And I've already felt it like, I would never do this anyway because it's not my nature. But straight away, I feel like, oh, maybe I should just be more lax with my diet or anything like that. Because you can't go to the gym. If anything, you should be more strict with your diet now to make sure you can kind of maintain and do what you can. But that's just what happens. You have to kind of go through this hurdle where A, you process it and then come up with a plan to what you're going to do to get back to where you want to be. And 3 to 6 months is not a long period of time in the grand scheme of things, but it feels like it. And I'm sure there's loads of people out there watching this now who feel the same. Overcoming adversity, as I've called the video, it's such a, it's life building, it's life affirming, and it's, it builds character and strength and all these kind of things, which are so important in life. But I think to get there, you have to kind of dip first, and then you have to kind of come back up the other way. And I think that's where the real struggle lies. Especially just small things, right? Because it doesn't work at the moment. It won't move because the collarbone is broken in two. Getting out of bed or making yourself some food or doing anything other than sitting on the couch and watching TV, which is not who I am. I don't like doing that. There isn't really much you can do. And so all of a sudden, you are, like I say, you are faced with this idea that you have to just do everything differently for a while. And anyway, talking about the more general terms, I can completely understand how that would have an effect on myself, but other people as well, where maybe that would then transform into, being down in your luck. I mean, Danny Rose, the football player, talked about it, right? He was out with an ankle or shoulder injury or something too, and he mentioned going through bouts of depression because he wanted to get back to play football and he was struggling with the recovery. I think it's something that we all deal with. It is something we all deal with, because how could you not? No one wakes up one day and goes, I hope I'm going to break a bone today. I hope I'm going to injure myself and can't do this thing that I love. So really, you don't have a mechanism to deal with it until it's actually in your face. And then you've quickly got to scramble and figure out whatever works for you. But I just thought it was quite poignant, given that I've been doing these videos. That's why I didn't do one last week, by the way, because this all came up and I was in that hospital and I was stranded in Newcastle for a while because I couldn't drive my car. Obviously, my arm doesn't work. But yeah, it's almost sobering in many ways. And there's the whole thing about feeling mortal and realizing that, because, most days you kind of do walk through life feeling immortal, as you probably should to a certain degree. But then, so these things kind of swan in and they kind of hit you hard. And then, you have to sit there and let your brain take it in and then try and figure out. I said figure out a lot, but it's true. That's what it's all about. I think that's the key word with all of this. It is figuring out, well, what do I do? What do I have to do? How long is it going to take? Do I need surgery? Do I not need surgery? Your brain's going 1,000 miles a minute. And then, again, you got the thing about something being stolen away from you. Anyway, the whole reason I wanted to bring this up is because I thought it tied in wonderfully to everything we've been talking about over the last few weeks. And hopefully when you see someone else going through such struggles, it makes your own struggles not better, because nobody should struggle to begin with, but a problem shared is a problem halved or whatever. And especially if two people are going through the same experience, because I do think there is a bit of and there's nothing wrong with this, but there can be a bit of a woe is me attitude. Oh, why was me? I can't believe this has happened to me, paying your dues and all of that. But really, it's just life. And you're going to get ups, you're going to get downs, you're going to get up, you're going to fall down, things are going to break, things are going to fix. And it really is the strength of character, as we mentioned, that you kind of have to pull out from nowhere and hope that, you do recover and you do stay positive and strong by the end of it. But it has been tough. There's no two ways about it. And I think it's important to say that, because I think there's anything wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with realizing that you can't live your life in the way you want to for a while, and you should probably come up with different things that you can do to maybe you haven't been able to do at that point. It always sucks when it's an injury like this, because I've been wanting to make a show reel for ages, but I can't because, again, I can't edit very well. But yeah, my point being, anyway, if you've been going through something similar, or even if it is like one of the things we've talked about many a time before, be that losing a job, anything that kind of, sticks a big wedge into the machine and all of a sudden makes you re-question and rethink everything, or at least have to come up with a new plan, that's really tough, and that can lead to depression and anxiety. I'm sure it does add to depression, but I think anxiety definitely. I think in these situations your brain has a tendency to go into overdrive and you start thinking, well, what about this, what about that? Like maybe you've got appointments you need to get to, or how do you work? That's my big at the moment, is I'm worrying about work, or there's other courses and stuff that I was going to be on. How do I cancel? How do I move? How do I all of that? There's a domino effect when this kind of stuff happens, and really life, or in terms of life on an admin general business level, it doesn't stop. It doesn't say it doesn't care. It doesn't have the capacity to care, but you have to figure out ways around that. How you're going to make money, how you're going to do all these kind of things. So I thought it was more of a rant than usual. Usually I feel like I have a good point. I'm quite all over the place with it, but this one was a bit more ranty. But I think that's okay. Hopefully you can take something away from it. And again, if you're injured or you've been struggling with a kind of life-changing event where you've had to rethink everything, it gives you some solace that you're not the only one going through it. And right now I am. Like I say, this does not work at all. I think apparently the bone is broken so bad that it's facing up, hence why surgery is what I'm gunning for, because I don't really want to fuse it together if it's sticking up. But either way, I already know now, and there was a kind of couple of days where I had to establish this. I know that I want to get back, I want to get better, I want to get back to 100%, and when I am there, I want to get back in a wrestling ring, and I want to get back in the gym. Those are my two goals right now, and it's important to have goals, and it's important to realize that as those goals, because when you do, I imagine it tastes all the more sweet because of everything you've been through. So I'll wrap it up there. Excuse me, a bit shorter than usual. Again, leave a comment below, like, share, subscribe, share if you want to share it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you know when we do another one of these. I'm not going to be going out a lot, So I'll definitely make sure I start hammering these a week. And maybe I'll kind of turn these videos into, we'll pick a subject, we'll talk about it, and I'll give you updates about the shoulder as well. And you can see more about this on What Culture Wrestling too, I should say. But thank you as always. I hope everyone out there is doing okay. I'll be all right. Thank you for everyone for their well wishes so far, but I will be okay. I know what I got to do, I know what I need to do, and I know where I want to get to. So yes, Miller's Musings. I think number 20 this is. Well, look at that. We're smashing it. I'm probably wrong. It's probably 22 or something. But either way, I've said 20 now. Thanks for watching all this time, and I'll see you next week.